Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, what the hell did we just see? Seth freaking Rollins is the new World Heavyweight Champion after an incredible night one of SummerSlam from MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Welcome to this live recap here on the Brandon's World YouTube channel. If you are listening or watching, make sure to go down to the comment section below, give your thoughts on SummerSlam. If we get any comments, we will put them on the screen here. Yes, I was worked. Yes, I did not believe the Seth Rollins injury was a work. My God, bravo to WWE. And you know what? As much as I've been feuding with that twat Dave Meltzer the last few months because he loves AEW so much, Dave, on this one, you were right. But if you don't think CM Punk and Gunther was a 5-star match, then I got to beef with you because that main event was incredible. But before we get there, let's get right into the show. I know we're competing. We're going up against the real WWE Post show right now on WWE's YouTube channel. Fellas, this show kicked off with an absolute bang. And no, I'm not talking about Cardi B coming down to the ring. I'm talking about the main event man, Yeet Jey Uso and the OTC, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, going up against Braun Breaker, the unpredictable badass, and Bronson Reed. And they really started this match off basically tornado tag style. You know, Roman and Jay were taking out Bronson and Braun Breaker. They even did the little run it back thing with Jey Uso's entrance to the middle of a match at SummerSlam. The crowd was absolutely eating it up. Then, obviously, Braun and Bronson Reed took control for a little bit. They were really wearing down Jey Uso. There was a moment where Jey Uso did a dive to the outside where he did take out Reigns, Breaker, and Reed. But as I mentioned, Breaker and Reed got control. There was a moment in the match where Braun Breaker tried to do his leaping jump that he does from the apron of the announce table against Roman Reigns, and his knee hit hard on the announce table. And I noticed it immediately. And by the way, in the main event, when they came out to celebrate with Seth Rollins, Breaker did have a wrap on the knee, and it looked like he was limping back to the locker room. Not good sign there, but he was able to finish the match. There was an incredible spot where, you know, Roman speared Braun Breaker for the barricade. Roman did the dive over the top where he nearly killed himself, taking out both Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. And then Bronson Reed did the dive over the top right back to Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. But the story of this match was Roman Reigns sacrificing his body. Every time Bronson Reed would try to attack Jey Uso, Roman would sacrifice his body. Braun Breaker, towards the end of the match, went to spear Jey Uso. Roman Reigns intercepted the spear. Bang! Jey Uso then was able to take out Braun Breaker, hit Bronson Reed with a spear, and then, of course, the splash for the 1-2-3. Jey Uso and Roman Reigns win this match. But it also goes to show blood does run thicker than water. Jey Uso and Roman Reigns are on good terms. Roman Reigns does see Jey Uso now as main event Jey Uso, now that he is also a world heavyweight champion. But I thoroughly enjoyed the hell out of this match. Maybe, again, who knows with the Breaker injury, what plans that's going to affect. But I thought, you know, Breaker and Reed were going to go over here. You know, I thought Roman Reigns was going to go away, disappear for a little while, and that still may be the case, I guess. But you are leading us to now. Could it be a clash in Paris? We get Roman Reigns and Braun Breaker, the one-on-one match that some people wanted at this event, SummerSlam. It's very possible. I know it's going to happen down the line. The only thing I'll say about this match was I was shocked a little bit that the Oracle, Paul Heyman, was not physically involved in this match, but of course he did get the last lap of the night. And then we go to the women's tag team match. And just for a quick sidebar, when I did my initial predictions for WrestleMania Saturday and I laid out the card in the order of the match card I would put each match in, it was exactly from 1 to 6 the match card I put in. So shout out to me for getting that at least correct. Though I will say a lot of my predictions for this card were completely wrong. And you know what? I'm happy when I'm wrong. It makes it more fun sometimes. speaking of a match I was wrong with, I thought Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez were going to retain the Women's Tag Team Championships. I thought they were going to dissipate from this Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, We're Not Friends storyline. And it looked like that for a moment when obviously Alexa Bliss accidentally struck Charlotte Flair. I thought Charlotte was going to come in and they were going to go after Alexa, and that was going to be it. After the Hada Bomb and a Pop Rocks, I thought that was going to be it. That was not the case. And interestingly enough, and they pointed this out on commentary, initially Charlotte Flair was getting beat up. Roxanne and Raquel really took it to her early on. You had Alexa Bliss come in and really get the crowd revved up. She did a great odd tag. But Charlotte at one point in the match did a moonsault to Raquel and Roxanne. And the crowd really popped for it. And they were chanting, "We want Charlotte," throughout the match. And it just goes to show. Sometimes I think we push too many guys too quickly, or girls for that matter, down people's throats, and people resent it and they want everything to come naturally. I think people respect Charlotte Flair, not only because she's Ric Flair's daughter, because she's a multi-time world champion, she's great in the ring, she's a great promo, but I think people are sick of seeing her in every world championship match at every main PLE imaginable, and so putting her in this mid-card tag team feud with Alexa Bliss and allowing her to show her personality a little bit, I think has warmed the WWE Universe's heart when it comes to Charlotte Flair. And my debate partner over at Championship Rings, Josh Unger, had said that, they could put the titles on Bliss and Charlotte, because I said, I don't know if they're going to start the Judgment Day dissension until Liv Morgan comes back. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I mean, they could, re-put the belts back on Roxanne and Raquel at any time. It does seem like the women's tag team title reign outside of Bayley and Sasha Banks in 2020 don't have long title reigns. So it's a good moment for the crowd. Obviously, the ending where, it looked like Charlotte was going to attack Alexa. She ends up hitting Raquel instead. And then the Sister Abigail DDT to Roxanne Perez, and Alexa Bliss gets the pin for her team. Then we get to the rubber match between Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. And this, I felt, was interesting because the crowd at MetLife Stadium was really behind Karrion Kross. And it felt like a more IWC, but maybe a very smart wrestling crowd. Obviously, the most diehard wrestling fans are going to come to big events, SummerSlam, like this. But I've said it about Karrion Kross, man. I like his promo. I get why people like him. He's got the look. He's got the promo. He's just a terrible wrestler. And, in the beginning, I thought this match was really slow. It definitely picked up once Sami Zayn hit the Blue Thunder Bomb, and Scarlett was trying to give Karrion Kross the lead pipe that he's been using to damage Sami Zayn's ribs. Then there was a moment where Sami Zayn snapped after realizing Karrion Kross was going to use the lead pipe on him and started kicking him. And the announcers started to make the point, is Sami Zayn about to turn from Karrion Kross? Scarlett even laid down the pipe and told Sami Zayn to use it. That's when Sami Zayn said enough. He obviously was able to hit the exploder suplex in the corner, nail the Helluva kick, 1, 2, 3, and he told Karrion Kross, we're done. And with the results of tonight's main event, I think it's very clear right now who's going to win, potentially, either the Elimination Chamber or the 2026 Royal Rumble match in Saudi Arabia, which I think, knowing Sami Zayn's ties in Saudi, could be a real possibility. And in my opinion, Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 42 is now very much on the table. Let's get to the fourth match on the card, which was done very quickly, I thought. Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill was obviously the Queen of the Ring winner. Tiffany Stratton, a lot of people have said she's had a heel title reign. I think she's been really good as a babyface, but she comes right out of the box here trying to go for a quick cover, and they were really trying to put away each other quickly. And the story the announcers were trying to tell on commentary was that Jade was still a rookie, right? She was still green. She's only been in WWE since the Royal Rumble of 2024. It was to the point where she blocked a prettiest moonsault ever. She got her knees up. She hit Jaded, but she rolled the wrong way, allowing Tiffany Stratton to hit the ropes. And commentary made it seem like that was a massive mistake by Jade Cargill. And then in the end, she goes for a Jaded on the top rope. Again, this match was very rushed. It felt like it wasn't even 10 minutes of, real wrestling time. Jade goes for the Jaded on the top rope. Tiffy counters, turns into a prettiest moonsault ever. 1, 2, 3. And I said, going into Crown Jewel in October in Perth, I thought it was very clear. Tiffany Stratton would not be the women's champion. Jade Cargill would be the women's champion. Naomi would be the women's world champion. And we would get the third rubber match between Naomi and Jade Cargill, champion versus champion. Now, could that still theoretically happen? Sure. Is there a world now where it's Stephanie Valkyria versus Tiffany Stratton, or even Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi? Yes. This did feel like a weird spot to put the title on Jade because it did not really feel like she had momentum. But it also feels like, who in the hell is left for Tiffany Stratton to face after this? Whether it's a face or a heel, because the SmackDown Women's Division is not as deep as the Monday Night Raw Women's Division. So, they're both in sort of an awkward spot. But I will say, again, overall good match. I enjoyed it. I actually did not think Jade Cargill was going to be champion, so I was pleasantly surprised that Tiffany Stratton retained the championship. And if you're keeping notes at home, going into the fifth match of the night, I am 1-3 on my predictions of who's going to win overall. The only match I got right so far was Sami Zayn. Then, and I promise you, in this cup right here, is strawberry watermelon prime, because Logan Paul was wrestling tonight. Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre, they took on Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. And I got to say, on any other normal card that wasn't SummerSlam, this could have been match of the night, as could have been Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. That was close to 5 stars. I thought this match was really close to 5 stars. I love the story they told in this match. Randy Orton starts the match and immediately Jelly Roll tags in because Jelly Roll wants to get his revenge on Logan Paul. And Jelly Roll starts beating the hell out of Logan Paul until Drew McIntyre gets in the ring, delivers a Claymore to Jelly Roll, resets the match. Then they start their punishment on Jelly Roll. They take out Randy Orton, and it's to the point where now Drew and Jelly Roll, or Drew and Logan Paul, are beating the absolute hell out of Jelly Roll. Logan Paul gives him the titanium knockout right hand punch on the outside. They put Jelly Roll on the announce table, and Logan Paul delivers a damn frog splash for the announce table. So now, Randy Orton's basically all alone as EMTs are trying to check on Jelly Roll. Orton was able to hit a big suplex on Logan Paul after Logan and Drew McIntyre continue to beat down Randy Orton for minutes. At that point, Jelly Roll, who is being checked by medical personnel, basically unable to walk, comes back crawling to the ring, makes the tag, and from there on, I'm like, okay, Jelly Roll's going to do his thing. He's giving jabs to Drew McIntyre and all that. There's a spot in the match where, Randy Orton delivers an RKO to Drew McIntyre. This comes after Jelly Roll delivers his, Jelly Roll new finisher, I guess is what you call it, along with a choke slam to Logan Paul, who just took a ton of abuse from this match. But after Randy Orton delivers the RKO to Drew McIntyre, Jelly Roll then slams Orton into the post and basically takes out Jelly Roll, delivers the splash, and Logan Paul pins Jelly Roll 1, 2, 3. And I was shocked by it because I thought with all of this they were doing with the celebrity involvement, and we know WWE and their celebrity involvements, at least under the Vince McMahon era, it seemed like when the celebrity got involved, every single time almost they would go over. This did not happen here. And there were reports leading up to SummerSlam that Jelly Roll may not be done in the ring, maybe for this year, but maybe he comes back to WWE in 2026. Is there a scenario, folks, where Joey Roll eliminates Logan Paul from the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, and we get Joey Roll versus Logan Paul one-on-one at WrestleMania 42. I think that's certainly on the table. Joey Roll looked great in the ring, by the way. Early on, he did a scoop slam to Logan Paul. He was doing the styling and profiling like Ric Flair. They said he lost 230 pounds, which is incredible. If you think about it, that's like half of what he did weigh in body weight to get in this match. And I mean, it wasn't just he got the hot tag and did some moves. He was the majority legal man in this match, and his training to me really showed off. He took the incredible bump for the announce table. I thought all four of these men absolutely killed it. At one point, and this is where I absolutely love Drew McIntyre. Drew, early on in the match, has Joey Roll down in the mat, and he basically puts his arm behind his back and is screaming to him, reach for Randy, reach for Randy. And then he puts his arm back, he gives him a stomp, and he says, I hear voices in my head. They say, Joey Roll, you're screwed. I mean, it's just Drew McIntyre, along with the man who we're going to talk about next, are the two best heels arguably in the business right now. I thought MJF was there for a while on AEW, but he sort of cooled off to me, which, by the way, I'm sorry, this was almost 3.5 hours in length. I love the fact that it's only 9:50 p.m. Eastern right now, and I'm just talking to you about the post show. I'm not watching another wrestling event for damn near another 3 hours the way All in Texas was, but go ahead and keep defending that BS. Let's get to a real 5-star match. I'm not talking about Dave Meltzer's star ratings here, folks. Again, me and Dave had issues back and forth about AEW, and I give Dave Meltzer credit here. He did get this right. It was a work. Now, what it means for LA Knight, I have no idea. Was LA Knight in on this? I mean, was it a legit injury and it just wasn't as bad as we thought? Was it a work the whole time? I don't know. But before we get there, man, when basically the lights went down about 8:45 p.m. Eastern for this matchup in MetLife Stadium, CM Punk got a massive entrance. It looked huge. Gunther coming out of the ring. This felt like, and I said it before, these two men did not need to do a lot of physicalness in their lead up to this match. I love the fact that it was 2 weeks of build. It was 2 promos. CM Punk called Gunther a kid. He said he's still the best in the world. Gunther said he's going to show CM Punk he is now the best in the world. CM Punk is the former best in the world. That's all you needed for this match. And I love the fact they started off real slow, like grabbing each other's arms, working it, feeling each other out, because this was the first time these two men have ever gone one-on-one in a professional wrestling ring ever. And I love the psychology of this match. You know, Gunther early on just took control of Punk, just kept beating him and beating him and beating him and beating him and battering him. There was a moment where Gunther grabs Punk. He delivers the chop. It looks like CM Punk's about to fall out of the ring. Gunther grabs him, delivers another chop and a kick to the outside. Again, this is what a real 5-star match looks like. Not 5-star flippy fest with 25 finishers over in that other company. This was a real 5-star match. These two guys put on one of the best one-on-one classic wrestling matches I have ever seen. And I see you all go to the max in the comment section, and that's specifically why I said that. Yes, by the way, Josh, you did tell me. I'm going to get to that here in a second. But this story, it was about Gunther being so confident that he's now the current best in the world, right? He delivers the power bomb to CM Punk. CM Punk kicks out. Gunther is taunting. He's going for a sharpshooter. CM Punk is. Gunther counters it right back into the sharpshooter. Gunther's doing the pose. And at that moment, I knew Gunther was in trouble to potentially lose the World Heavyweight Championship tonight. CM Punk would then turn it into a figure 4. And then there was a moment where Gunther, looked defeated, right? He beat CM Punk with another powerbomb. Then he delivered the T-Rex dropkick in the corner. Then he delivered another powerbomb to CM Punk, and yet CM Punk still kicked out. Then they went to the outside, and this is when things changed. Gunther was so confident, he got up on the announce table, he was taunting, and CM Punk does to Gunther what he did to Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 40. He rakes his leg, Gunther comes down hard, lands face first on the announce table, and when he comes back up, he is completely busted open. Now, there was a report right before SummerSlam went on the air that Gunther has a nose issue that he may have to go get surgery for, and he may be off television, and who knew if that was true before the event? Again, it looks like now that it was true, and so they did lean into that, right? And CM Punk gets Gunther back in the ring, and Gunther's face is pouring like an absolute stuffed pig. Now, again, this is the way you use blood. Not the way Jon Moxley used blood in every goddamn match of his. This was so unexpected. This added more to the story. Gunther's face a crimson mask. Gunther, the man who has never tasted blood in his career, has tasted blood due to the Second City Saint. Punk gives him some jabs. Punk gives him the running knee bulldog. Punk gives him the elbow. Punk calls for the go to sleep. Gunther ends up putting in the sleeper hold. And it's like, okay, Gunther has a real chance to retain. Punk is able to get out of that, lifts Gunther up, bam, right on the jaw, go to sleep. But guess what? Gunther is still on his feet. It takes a second go to sleep, once again protecting the finisher of CM Punk. 1, 2, 3. And CM Punk was the world champion. He was in the ring. Now, usually the signs that there is going to be a Money in the Bank cash-in is the guy is selling an injury, right? And CM Punk was selling, but it was more of like he was selling because he'd been in the war with the freaking ring general who has been the World Heavyweight Champion for 80% of his time in WWE, a champion in Gunther. Punk gets to his feet, everybody's celebrating, and I'm like, okay, they're going to go off the air, no cash-in. Boy, was I wrong. Burn it down. Out comes the visionary, out comes the revolutionary, and he's walking with crutches. And at that moment, I literally said, oh, I thought Dave Meltzer and Sean Ross Sapp and everybody said he's not hurt. Because he says, oh, enjoy it while you can, pal. By the way, I love the way Rollins says pal, like Vince McMahon used to do. So he turns back, but then he drops the crutches. And it's here we go. Now, I will say, I would have liked for this to be booked a little bit differently. I would have liked for Bronson Reed, and maybe this had to be changed, but it didn't seem like it because it seemed like this was always the plan. But maybe because of Braun Breaker's potential injury, maybe things are going to change again. I don't know. But I would have liked for Reed and Breaker to come through the crowd and like beat CM Punk down or at least distract him, and Rollins to then meet him instead of Rollins coming down to the ring, him and Punk brawling. Then all of a sudden Rollins hits Punk with the briefcase. The referee calls for the bell. Rollins hits the stomp. And it is the ruse of the century, which fantastic call by Michael Cole, once again, the greatest professional wrestling announcer of all time. It was indeed the ruse of the century. And again, as I mentioned, Braun Breaker had a sleeve on his knee based off the opening match of the night, which concerns me a little bit. Maybe Breaker's the one. Maybe the irony is Braun Breaker's actually hurt, and Seth Rollins is not, and that's how you get face Braun Breaker when he returns. I don't know. But, I mean, this happened to CM Punk. It's pretty incredible. CM Punk's world title reigns since he's been back in professional wrestling. I mean, think about this. right? May 2022 at AEW Double or Nothing, which was at the time their WrestleMania before All In existed. Punk defeats Hangman Adam Page. He is the AEW World Champion. Then he gets hurt basically right away. They have to lollipop the title back over to Jon Moxley. Then Punk comes back. Punk wins the title at All Out 2022. There is a massive brawl backstage, which we now know is Brawl Out. So, and CM Punk is fired from AEW. Again, that's CM Punk's second AEW World title reign. And now his only title reign in WWE that he's had is cut short after 5 minutes due to his arch nemesis. And what is crazy about all this is at WrestleMania, we had a triple threat match between Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. Which side is Paul Heyman on? And I said, I think Paul Heyman is going to join Seth Rollins' side. And we had a match tonight at SummerSlam where Roman Reigns got his quote-unquote revenge on Paul Heyman, though I don't think that feud is over yet. And Seth Rollins is still feuding with CM Punk because pretty much like CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins will always feud with CM Punk. And last year, a year ago tomorrow, August 3rd, 2024, I was in Cleveland Brown Stadium, which it was named at the time. Now it's Huntington Bank Field, for SummerSlam 2024. And during that event, Drew McIntyre took on CM Punk with Seth Rollins as the special guest referee. A year later, at the end of night one of SummerSlam, Seth Rollins and CM Punk are still feuding, and Seth Rollins takes away the World Championship from CM Punk. Now, I am assuming with Gunther potentially going away for a little while, this does clear the way again for Seth Rollins and Punk to have a rematch, though maybe you don't even need to do a one-on-one match between these guys, right? We saw it at Netflix. We saw it inside a steel cage on Raw as well. Maybe you had a stipulation to this. This adds a whole new level to the Seth Rollins CM Punk feud, which will presumably take WWE through the fall. We know WWE in the fall, typically the lowest ratings of the year because of all the football that's involved, whether it's the NFL on Monday nights or now even college football on Fox on Friday nights. That really, after Clash in Paris, WWE right now has Crown Jewel, which is going to be champion versus champion, which now I think is going to be really interesting if what I think is going to happen tomorrow night. Because did you guys watch SmackDown last night? If you guys are fans of Big Brother, you guys know that they are locked away in the outside world for 3 months without contact. I said, Julie, tell the house guests John Cena turned babyface. Because as I said, there's going to be a heel turn tomorrow night. And it's kind of strange, right? That both WrestleMania 41 and SummerSlam this year could potentially end the same way for both nights. Seth Rollins stands tall over CM Punk at WrestleMania. John Cena turns heel with Travis Scott, stands tall over Cody Rhodes. Fast forward 4 months. Seth Rollins, now the World Heavyweight Champion, stands tall over CM Punk. And now Cody Rhodes, with potentially even the final boss, stands tall over John Cena. Poetic justice, storytelling at its finest. I think Crown Jewel between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, with them both being heels for the Crown Jewel Championship, would actually be a match I'd really be interested in. And then you got War Games, which is probably some combination of Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and dare I say Cody Rhodes against Roman, Jay, maybe Jimmy, and Punk. and then you find 50. Like, I don't know. Well, I think John Cena is going to be involved in there too. So let's play this out. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, John Cena, maybe even Jey Uso. Put them all on the same team at War Games. And maybe the Uso brothers, right? Jey, Jimmy, Roman, Punk, Cena against Rollins, Reed, Breaker, Cody, and maybe the final boss. What do you guys think about that? For a 5-on-5 War Games match on the men's side at Survivor Series. Certainly possible. It's giving me goosebumps just to be excited about. I love this night. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought, nothing will top SummerSlam 2024 for me because I was there live. I thought SummerSlam 2023 being a one night was good. I thought this night topped that. Now, I love SummerSlam 2022. I don't know if it topped that, but I thought it topped SummerSlam 2021, just to put you in perspective. So we've got 5 SummerSlams, essentially. And again, it's hard to grade one SummerSlam when it's 2 nights versus one night, and we're going to do a full-scale grade based off what happens tomorrow night and night 2. But I did think tonight went very well. It was 3 hours and 20 minutes of damn near entertainment of professional wrestling. This is why, as Gunther would say, we love this sport. You can like AEW, you can like New Japan, you can like TNA, as I've always said. WWE is the best damn professional wrestling on the planet. I loved it. I'm geeked out, and I'm excited to see what goes on tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we got all the stipulations. We got TLC, we got Steel Cage, we got a triple threat match, we got a street fight, we got the no disqualification, no count-out Women's Intercontinental Championship match, and we have Dom versus the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, for the Intercontinental Championship. We will be live on the Brandon Jordan YouTube channel immediately after night 2 ends. Let's see if I'm right on that. Hey, maybe my debate partner over championship rings, Josh Unger, gets night 1 right, and I get night 2 right. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. I enjoyed this show so much, and I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow night. Seth freaking Rollins, I absolutely loved it. The ruse of the century. I know Unger to the Max, his favorite wrestler is Seth Rollins. I know he's having an absolute ball right now. He's thrilled about it. Perfect call by Michael Cole. The ruse of the century as we get into fall now. Rollins, Punk. Again, overall, I thought the show was fantastic, and I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow night. A very special live edition of Brand's World. First time we have been live on the YouTube channel in over 4 years. Special occasion this year for the first 2 night SummerSlam. We had to go live to do so. We'll see you tomorrow night as soon as night 2 of SummerSlam ends.